What's going on, guys? We're back today with another showcase video for you. We're going to take a look at one of the new cards that just dropped. I know you guys are excited. I'm excited. I'm excited as well. We got a new collection out, and it's the programming collection. I want to take a look at one of the new cards from that set, Python. This card looks pretty neat. When played, your non-science cards, wherever they are, gain 16 until played. So at least buffing 17 cards in your deck. So kind of similar effect that Carto does here, where your non-paleo cards get 12 until played. So I kind of like these cards. You can do a lot of build arounds with them. I would be concerned though if too many more came out, just because they are so easy just to slot in decks. That again, we're going to see a little more power creep, I think, over time. With cards like these, Python, even Tenon specifically, new card as well. When played, if your deck has exactly 5 albums, your cards, wherever they are, gain 16 until played. So, again, we can see a little more power creep. This card slots good into, like, World Turtle decks, stuff like that can utilize 5 albums fairly easy and still get basically a free until 16 until played buff, which is already pretty strong. Since World Turtle itself only does like 14 until played, so you're basically getting a free card that's buffing your whole deck, maybe aside from 1 or 2 cards. So again, Python, the new card that we just saw, I think it's going to be strong, man. I can see this being used in a lot of decks. Easy to slot in, easy to use. So I did want to revisit the basically the destruction type archetype, where we are going to affect our opponent in negative power per turn here. So cards like Plague Doctor, on the return, if you've played any card with death in the name this game, your opponent loses 100 power per turn next turn. So directly targeting their power per turn on the debuff. So I like to call that a destruction meta. You guys know how I love my Haru specs, so we are going to try to utilize that with the 5 life on land cards here. So Haru specs, when played, if your deck contains 5 or more life on land cards, 5 of your life on land cards, wherever they are, lose 15 perm, and all our other cards in the deck gain 10 perm. So essentially we sacrifice these 5 life on land cards, their power, and then the rest of our deck gets the 10 permanent buff. So we're going to obviously pick cards that we don't care that they get sacrificed, because their abilities are still strong enough and pretty relevant. So obviously Death Angel we need for Plague Doctor, so I did have to have at least 1 card with death in the name. And it fits our destruction theme, right? I've played opposite any arts and culture or life on land card. Your opponent loses 9 power per turn permanently. So again, that destruction archetype. We've got Funeral Bell, just because it's a strong card for life on land, that we don't care that our base power is gone. The effect is still really relevant. So when drawn, your cards in hand lose 10 until played. When played, your opponent's cards in hand lose 40 on the turn. So again, a nice 120 sweep there against our opponent. And then when returned, 4 random cards in your opponent's deck lose 10 perm. So again, more debuff going on there. Expensive deck overall, so I wanted to get a little more energy regen permanently, because this week's ladder is, I want to say it's 16 energy regen every turn. Don't quote me on that. We'll double check here in a minute, but just giving us a little extra energy, again, could help us into the late game. And then we get the 4 power per turn as well, which is not too bad. Not that great, but honestly, I kind of wish they'd buff this card. Maybe make it 10 power per turn and then the 1 energy. I think that would make this card 10 times better, honestly. What else we got going on here? I said this is an expensive deck. You can see a lot of 7s, 8s, 6s for this week. So I did slot El Dorado as well in the deck. A little more energy just to be safe. And that's mainly because of this Poison Frog. It is debuffing or losing energy regen on both players, so myself and the opponent on the return. So really needed to offset this, because if you draw it early, it is pretty painful, I'm not going to lie, especially since our deck's so expensive. But when played, your cards adjacent to this lose 15 on the turn, and your opponent loses 32 for 3 turns. So again, that destructive archetype there, strong ability. And Puff Adder doing the same thing when played. Card opposite loses 30 on the turn. When returned, your opponent loses 32 for 4 turns, decreasing by 8 each turn. So not as strong as it goes on, but still relevant. What else do we got going on? We talked about Tenon, Carto. We got Longsword here, just a strong debuffer. Played in the middle slot between any 2 cards. Your opponent loses 100 on the turn. And then obviously gets more expensive the second time and third time you play it. Want to try out the new Fan Thomas in this brew. Feels like it's a good fit here when played. If you're winning the round, all other cards in both players' hands lose 20 on the turn. And then when return, if you won the turn, gain 15 perm. This is kind of the type of card I was kind of screaming about that I wanted, maybe a year back or so for the Scorched Earth archetype. I think this is kind of a good inclusion for that type of deck. You're debuffing your opponents on the turn and then carrying the power per turn into the late game. This does want to win the turn, though, which can be a little tough sometimes, especially early games. So for those type of decks, so almost wish it said if you lose the turn, gain 15 perm. I think it would have been a lot easier to trigger this card into the late game. But I don't hate it, though. I don't hate it. I think it's a good card. I'd like to see more cards like this with that 15 or more power per turn into the late game. And I like the stipulations attached to them to where you may or may not. You could even do like a card that maybe gives 10 automatic, and then there's a stipulation attached for kind of like Lich, where it does additional on top of. If you meet said requirement, I think that would be kind of cool. Maybe like played round 3. I'm surprised I haven't seen any that say if you won the round. I think that would be kind of an interesting, because then you want to play it on turn 3 to trigger the return effect if you won the round. I'm really surprised we haven't seen that yet. So you could make some really strong buffs that now you have to play it on turn 3, you have to win the round, and then they trigger something even better for winning. I think that'd be kind of a cool thing. I'm surprised at least I can't think that we've seen anything like that yet. So, maybe coming. We got Tassography. I'm not sure if I said that right. When played, your cards with power per turn abilities, wherever they are, gain 9 perm. Not super strong. I mean, I think it's affecting like 10 cards in the deck, so we're going to get the 90 perm, and it is only 3 energy. We did need a couple cheap cards in the deck early in case we get in a pinch. Even late, cycling with Longsword could be relevant. Just having a cheap card that makes sure we can play 3 cards could be good, but I haven't played with this card much, so I wanted to really try it out in this deck, see what we thought. Now, it does work for these destruction cards, which is kind of cool, so I feel like most people wouldn't think to use it in destruction, but it does work, and it kind of offsets our Haru specs a little bit that's dinging these life on land cards, since a few of them, 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the 5, will get that 9 perm buff, so pretty nice there to offset a little bit. We have Art Deco again, trying to get the energy, the power per turn, or energy per turn there. Take advantage of that. Boy Who Cried Wolf, nice destruction card here. If you have played the Boy Who Cried Wolf, this card gains 50 perm, and our opponent loses the 100 on the turn. Anubis, just trying to gain a little ourselves in the process. 20 power, permanent power per turn. And finally, again, a little more destruction from Snow Queen. We gain 10, they lose 10 power per turn. I think I went through everything. That's the deck, so let's go take it for a spin, guys. See what you guys think. I do want to discuss a little bit with you all everybody's thoughts. We see that this new programming archetype has been released, but it is, as we've seen, put behind kind of a paywall in a sense, I guess you could say. At least that's what everybody's, calling it, a paywall. In the season pass, you have to basically, to get it unlocked early, I would say. You have to have the season pass, but honestly, I don't think it's that bad for the game. I'm really surprised they haven't done this already. And it's not that bad. I think it's going to generate a little more revenue for the company, personally. This is a very free-to-play game, very heavily free-to-played. And I'm sure that is tough for them, because you really don't have to buy a whole lot. They give you quite a bit for this game. And it's been out long enough now that I think most people probably have a lot, if not the majority of the cards in the game. So just the idea of now, if you want to get the cards early, you'd have to buy the season pass. But they did say that they do still plan to give the cards out potentially at the end of the season anyway. You could buy like a collection thing that just gives you all the cards at the end. So really, you don't have to buy the season pass unless you want it early, right? So I think that's neat how they did that. It's not the end of the world. At least I don't think, as long as, and they even said you can still draw the cards naturally out of packs, which is cool. So you could still, hit one occasionally here and there. So they're giving that option as well. So I don't think it's as bad as people are saying. Again, it is a company, guys. They have to make money. I did reach out to them today, actually, just to kind of get their feel and what they thought, what the feedback was, or if they wanted me to mention anything in the video specifically. I did get a comment back. The main thing is that they are obviously monitoring the situation in regards to this, and they're trying to work out the best way to implement these kind of changes in the future. Basically continuing this up, and with the free-to-play community in mind, basically, is what he had said. So, and then saying, obviously releasing collection packs at the end of the season, and part of the collection releasing in the free reward track. So, basically reiterating, though, that they're really monitoring the situation and reading all the feedback about it. So definitely important. They do read what you guys say. So they're very active in the chats as well, in the Discord channel. So it's not something they take lightly. Basically, is what I gathered from it. So I don't know. I see it helping long-term for the game's survival, for the health of the game. I think the extra money could go a long way. Maybe they hire some, new game devs, get us some new game mechanics, or, I don't know, just something that keeps the game alive, keeps it, refreshed as time goes on, I think is pretty important for the game's overall survival / health. So I'm not mad at it. Again, I think it's... I think it was necessary, personally. But you guys can let me know in the comments what you think. I know, like I said, I was reading some stuff in Discord. I know there's a lot of people upset by it. They think, the game's trying to move more pay-to-win strategy. But like I said, I don't really think that's the case. I think they're just, if you want it early, you basically pay for the season pass. If you don't want it, if you don't mind waiting a little bit until a season's over, then you're going to get the cards basically anyway. So I think it's just pay if you want it early type thing. So I don't think that's the worst, though. But again, let me know what you guys think. I'm sure they'll read the comments that you guys leave in my channel as well. So do that, please. Feedback is important. What else is good, guys? Enough of that. What do you guys think of this deck so far? Like I said, I'm kind of digging the Destruction archetype. I would love to see some more cards in this archetype as well. This ding your opponent. Maybe put some stipulations on those as well for dinging your opponent. Maybe like if you're losing or something, ding them permanently. I don't know. I'd really like a reason that if you ding your opponent, you get an added benefit from doing said negative power per turn. Because, like, in my mind, what's the reason to go negative power per turn when you can just go positive power per turn on yourself? Because the cards seem a lot better to go positive, in my opinion. There's not as many good negative power per turn cards out there that are strong enough, I think, to overtake most of the time. So, I would definitely love to see, like, maybe something that gives a reason to go that direction. I don't have an idea off the top of my head. I had one before, and I can't remember what it was. I want to say it was like a game-ending nuke that triggers if you reach, like, minus 200 or let's say minus 300 on a turn, and it triggers, then it, like, you win the game or something automatically. I don't remember what it was. It was something cool like that, or maybe your opponent gets I think it was a trigger sudden death type effect. Like, reset your opponent, like, reset the round to 0, trigger sudden death type effect. I think that'd be really neat. So, like, imagine they think it's the last turn of the game, so they've cycled their cards just perfect, but you drop a minus 100 Boy Who Cried Wolf, and then this other card that's like a nuke that says at the end of this turn, if they have minus 300 or more power per turn, both players reset to 0 and sudden death. And now you've got this inherent lead because they're minus X amount of power per turn, whatever the reset is. Obviously, it probably won't be minus 300 anymore, but maybe they'll be like minus 100, 150, something like that. And then they also didn't plan for this now cycle that you've done where they have to play another turn. I think that'd be really neat. So you basically have the upper hand on them for the now new last turn of the game. I don't know, I think that'd be really cool. I would like to see it. And now that gives you a reason to build around minus power per turn, because you have this inherent nuke effect that evens the playing field in a sense, or resets the round. I think for me that would give me a reason to go play my neg power per turn instead of positive power per turn. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of that idea, because I'm curious if you think that's too broken, but I think it's cool. Because it gives you, like, again, you have to build towards this, right? There's not a ton of cards, and it could be more than 300. You know, I'm just throwing a number out there, but basically giving you a reason to do it, I think would be cool. Sorry, thinking. All right, looks like we got him now. Heck yeah. Let's do one more. See what you guys think. If this deck's decent or not. I actually had another deck originally in mind, but ended up getting a hold of Python, so I was like, we're going to showcase this new card, because this card is pretty sick. So I'm excited for Python. The other card I'm excited for in programming is, what card was that? Was it Basic, I think it was called? It's the one that has the burn effect in the buff. It looked pretty cool. Blanking on the name now. Maybe it was Basic. Don't remember. But yeah. Alright, see what we're up against here. We got Menico. Ooh, he looks like he's probably in some type of turtle deck. Supermassive black hole, probably Planet X, Golden Lion. So this will be a pretty strong deck. Don't like this hand, though. Drawing Carto round one is always so painful, I feel like. Thanks, bud. Appreciate the support. There's this Planet X. Okay. Kind of a weak turn for us just because of the energy. He's got an arts card. We could try to get Death Angel down. Let's see here. It's probably not enough, but we'll try it. Ooh, it's going to be close. Dang, did we get that? Nope. Oh, I didn't see the buff. Dang. All right, you can have it. You can have it, kind sir. All right, drew into our funeral bell. We like that. Got Carto. Probably drop. Oh, we need to get Tenon down too, though. So, let's do it like this. Don't need Eldorado just yet. He's got Tenon too. It's kind of cool with his natural monument cards in that deck. It's kind of neat. Giant's Causeway, heck yeah. It's a cool little build. Ooh, expensive. Dang. Didn't have enough for 3 cards here? Or we do, but it's... I guess we can do it like that. That's fine. Fan didn't trigger. Oh, I should have looked at that. I'm oblivious. Doot. That was a misplay. Well, maybe not. We did need to play 3 cards, I feel like. So, just not a strong card right there in that moment. Let's go Nubis. Yeah, we're losing this round too. Ooh. He's got the... See, this deck doesn't have the early strength like those kind of decks do. That's kind of its downfall. It's going more late. Not the worst, though. Like I said, I wanted to just test out this Python brew. That, and I just like playing Destruction. I think it's fun, even though it's not the strongest. Like I said, I think that's why they need a reason to play it. I don't want to badger that point, but I think it's important. Let's give him a little great deck. Yeah. You're smoking me right now, bud. We don't hate it. You know? It's got a cool little deck brew. Alright. Plague's online now. So is Sword. Let's do it like that. Ooh. He's getting that plus 50 here. Yikers. Alright, well. I think he's got us. I think it's got to be Puff Adder, right? 130. Well, I guess this is 130 as well. But no, it's actually 135. All right, let's do it. Is he gonna let me go one more round? Nope. Dang, so close. Well, good game, sir. Menico. Good deck. All right, guys, let me know in the comments, like I said, what you guys thought of the deck and obviously what we talked about. And I'll keep an eye out for comments. But hopefully you enjoyed the video, guys. And as always, hit that like button and subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.